Okay, guys, so you got to detach from the body, okay? Your body is the reason why you feel like you don't have your SP. You got to detach from the mind. Your mind is the reason why you believe that because you see that your phone has no messages from them, your mind is telling you that they don't exist in your reality, that they are with somebody else. I mean, because I know what I'm about to say in this video sounds really crazy, but think about it for a second, okay? If you are not the mind or the body, then where is it that you check their Instagram status? What is it that you use to see that? You use your hands, that's part of the body, check. And then you use your eyes, check. So if you're not the mind or the body, then why are we basing our results in our manifestation off of what we are seeing with our body, right? Now, here's the kicker, right? Well, actually, I'll just give you a little preview to what I'm going to end this video with, but I'm going to tell you how you can identify with the mind or the body whenever you want in order to help you get your manifestation. But whenever it's not showing you what you don't want, you can say, oh, okay, never mind, that's not me, right? Kind of like in my job where I work with 5 fucking managers and all of them are women. And, you know, trust me, okay, before someone's gonna say, oh, are you a sexist? Ladies, I love women, okay? Matter of fact, talk to HR. I mean, I think I love them a little too much. But anyways, there's this thing where, like, when someone makes a mistake, corporate will get on our ass, right? And it seems like I'm one of the few that always has to take the blame because all the women are very sensitive. Like, I don't like them to tell me. I don't like them to write me up. Oh, my nails hurt, you know? So a lot of times they expect me to, they're harder on me because they're like, oh, he's a guy, he can take it, right? But a lot of them, I'm like, fuck you guys. I like to throw them under the bus. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking take the blame for your old bitch ass. But, you know, if someone gets praised for something that they did right, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's me, right? But if they know that they made a mistake, but there's still reasonable doubt, they're like, oh no, it was Neil. Like, wait, what the fuck? That's how you can be with your mind or the body, but I'm going to show you that later. But again, you have to look at your mind and the body like a video game. The same way that when you're in first person perspective, when you're playing a Call of Duty video game, is the same way that you got to see your reality. It's the same way. Because the same exact way that a person is sitting on a seat, sitting on the couch, and they're holding their controller, yet when they are playing the video game, they basically feel like they're that character. They lose themselves into the video game. That's the same reason why all these 30 plus years of your life, you feel like you are this character. You feel like you're this person who the SP hasn't talked to in months, or who hasn't ever been able to get a person of that caliber in their dating life, or is struggling with their money and they have to, you know, keep budgeting and, you know, deleting all their subscriptions, and every single time they get a raise, they still feel broke, no matter how many times their salary is increased, right? That's the character that you're identifying with, but that's just the video game. But who are you really? You are just the observer. And guess what an observer does? They just observe. So therefore, hey, you can even take the cookies out of the cookie jar, but was it really you? Or was it your hand who took the fucking cookies out of the cookie jar? And by the way, I know some people are like, you know what, fuck this motherfucker. That's enough, okay? So now I know what you're gonna say. So now if I commit murder, okay, if that guy, you know, who murdered this person who's now in prison, if you're saying that it was his body, but it really wasn't him, so now you're excusing him, that's not what I'm saying, okay? We all have to play by the rules of the game. Okay, this is all talking about internal identification. Yes, obviously, if you do something criminal, you need to face the consequences. But you see, you face the consequences externally. Okay, internally, there's been people who've gone to prison who, even though society sees them as a criminal, because they made the right internal changes, you know, they found God. They found peace within, and they learned how to love life for the little things, right? You see, that is what I'm referring to, is like, I'm not telling you okay, if you're not the mind of the body, but yet this body does not have my SP, all I got to do now is go to their fucking house and serenade them with Justin Bieber songs. No. Okay? I'm telling you to serenade them with fucking Bee Gees songs and Beastie Boys. Okay, no, not even that. In all seriousness, guys, I am simply saying that whenever you do an affirmation and you say, me and my SP are madly in love with each other, so much so that the Beatles resurrected to make love songs about us, when you do imaginal acts, seeing you and your SP holding each other's hand, and you both feel the engagement ring, and then you have a fucking amazing sex scene, whatever the fucking case is, you have every right to never do that imaginal act again and live life, fold your laundry, go to your job, and every single time that your thoughts are, this is not working, why has it been 6 months and nothing's happening, you know, maybe manifestation sucks, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, this is never gonna work, I gotta keep doing all these techniques. You are identifying with the body, right? Now, again, your body can feel the frustration, your body can feel the sadness and the loneliness. Your thoughts can do whatever the fuck they want to do, right? A lot of people talk about, I gotta dodge these thoughts, you know, like, oh, there's another one. Oh shit, there it goes, incoming, you know, like those fucking goblin grenades that the Green Goblin, fucking William Dafoe, was throwing at Tobey Maguire all the fucking time in Spider-Man 1. It's like, out am I? And then, you know, and then he does the fucking Matrix and all that shit. You don't have to do that shit. Okay, you can if it's just like a thought that you can simply just fucking knock it out with one punch. But if you can't fucking hit it with the 1-2 fucking Mike Tyson, I was going to say somebody else, but most of you guys are fucking noobs in the boxing world. Okay, if you can't hit it with the 1-2 Mike Tyson and then it's out cold, then fucking let your thoughts be your fucking thoughts. And what do the scriptures say? Resist the devil and he will flee. Okay? That is talking about anything that is against your God state. And whenever you are trying to manifest an SP, your thoughts acting that way is the devil in your version of your hell. Your hell is you not getting what you want. Remember, the Bible is metaphysical. Okay? Resist the devil and he will flee. Allow your thoughts to be like Satan with Jesus in the wilderness. Satan was like, oh, just eat this bread. I know you're hungry. And Jesus was like, you know what, fuck off. You know, and eventually, after taking him to the mountains, after taking him to the temples, Satan was like, all right, fuck this. And that's what's going to happen with your thoughts. You can tell me how crazy you spiral out of control, but I've had clients who have spiraled like crazy, cried, bitter tears, but it never lasts forever. Okay? As a matter of fact, I would even argue that it never lasts even more than a fucking hour. Maybe even more, less than 30 minutes. Okay? So I mean, fuck, if you have to set a timer, right? But I'm telling you guys, detach from the mind and the body, okay? So, like I said near the beginning of this video, I talked about how so like I said, you can identify with things in your body, in your mind, that do benefit your manifestation. But every single time that you see that they're not texting you, that you're broke, and I keep using SP, but again, this goes for everything. So whether it's money, you keep seeing that you can't afford this thing that you want to buy, whatever it is, those are the moments where you're like, oh, nope, I'm not this version. I'm not this body. I'm not this mind that is saying, oh my gosh, you can't even afford Starbucks? You're such a loser. Look at how Billy got a Trente. It's like, fuck, I'm such a loser. Okay, now, that's not my brain. That's the wrong brain. Okay? You feel like you want to cry. Okay, the body's crying right now. The eyes are crying. That's not my body. Your SP starts showing interest in you slightly. Oh yeah, duh, everything is unfolding. Yeah. Now you don't have to say, oh, now that's my body now. But you just simply identify with it and react to it. So I know that it sounds like, oh, so I have to now just keep saying this is not my body, that's not my body. Like, what the fuck? You feel almost like if you're decapitating yourself. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach you the simple practicality of detachment. Okay? Because when someone says, I want to detach, I want to stop giving a fuck, what they really mean is they want to allow the emotions to go through them in a way to where they still feel like they're okay. And it all revolves around, I mean, what did I just say at the end of that fucking sentence? Feeling okay. It's all about feeling. Again, whether you feel sad, whether you feel like shit, whether you feel like this is not working, and I feel like they're never going to come, that this manifestation is never going to happen. If anytime you can say, I feel like blank, that is coming from the body. And therefore, if you don't like that feeling, then just simply detach from that body. You can tell yourself that every single time that something goes in your favor for your manifestation, that is the future body, the future version of yourself showing up. Right? But in reality, it's this whole fundamental principle is supposed to teach you, not like, oh, I gotta gaslight myself and say I'm the body here and I'm the body there. It is to show you practically, once again, that because you are not the mind of the body to begin with, right? When you identify with something, whether it's good or bad, if you identify with, oh, I'm frustrated today because my SP's not texting me, then you will manifest more of that because that's what you identified with. Because whatever you identify with, reality must give you your identity. However, if you see that they're not texting you, but you're like, nope, whether you tell yourself that's not my mind, that's not my body, or whether you say that's my old self, which sounds less, body horror now that I think about it. If you say that's my old self, that's no longer me, or you can just simply say that's not me, that's an old timeline, that's a parallel reality, whatever you want to say, then reality sees that you are identifying with something else, and it will give you whatever that something else is. And if you choose that something else to be the version of you internally that has your SP and the money, then congratulations, that is what it will eventually give you. Okay. Now, I know a lot of these concepts are hard to wrap yourself around, and a lot of the times it's not so much that it just doesn't make any sense to you, but maybe there's a part of it that you get, but there's something, maybe a traumatic event or some sort of limited belief that is in the way to keep you from getting to that finish point. And if that's you, I would love to work with you guys. The link's in the description. And by the way, if you become a channel member, you get discounts to any service that you want on the Stand Store, guys. I love y'all. Take care.